Literary style, publication and dating of the letters. Pliny regarded epistolography as a third genre of creative literature, additional to his orations and his verses. What style, then, was to be adopted in the presentation of the letters? When he offers advice to his youthful friend Fuscus Salinator on the literary exercises he should practice to further an orator career, amongst other suggestions he writes, I am keen that you should devote some care to letter writing. We look, to, we look to epistles for language which is compressed and adult. 7, 9, 8. In another letter, in which he praises Pompeius Saturninus, he states, recently he read out to me some letters which he said his wife wrote. I thought that what was being read to me was Plautus or Teresa's read of Demeter. 1:16, 6. Taken together, these passages indicate that the prose epistles should be composed in a plain but educated style, and this is why for young students both today the Latin is more suitable as being more comprehensible than the speeches of Cicero or of History of Livy. While plain but educated serves as a general assessment of Pliny's epistolary style, the dramatic content of some letters tempts him to embark on more flowery discourse. One of few examples is the ghost story recounted to Licinius Sura, when Pliny imaginatively creates a dramatic and atmospheric narrative. Other similarly dramatic accounts include the dream of Fannius 5:5, the poetic description of the floating islands on the Varimon 8:20, the anecdote of the sportive dolphin 9:33, and of course the account of the eruption of Vesuvius and the heroism of elder Pliny 6:16. When Pliny dispatched letters to selected correspondents, he had copies made and filled with the intention of later publication. The dedication to Septicius Clarus, which precedes Book 1, indicates that he intended to publish groups of selected letters as staggered dates. Some scholars have suggested that Book 1 until 9 were issued tidily in three triads: 1 until 3, 4 until 6, 7 until 9. Others that each book was published separately, and others still that Book 1 until 9 were published simultaneously. Study of the chronology of the early letters suggests the possibility that Book 1 until 2 formed the first volume. All the letters of Book 1 can be dated the reign of Nerva and the first months of Trajan's principate. Book 2 contains further letters from this period 97 until 8, but others must be assigned to the year 100. Pliny may have gathered and published Book 1 and 2 before undertaking the duties of the consulship in September of that year. The wide range of letters in Book 1 has no single dominant topic. By contrast, Book 2 has at its center the lengthy account covering two letters 2, 11 and 12, of the extortion trial of Marius Priscus, and Pliny's prominent role in it. Artistically set against this is a second letter devoted to Pliny's life away from city business. The description of his estate at Laurentum 2:17, the final letter of Book 2, offers a light-hearted close to the volume with three anecdotes portraying Regulus as legacy hunter. The continuity of themes pervading books 3 until 6 suggests that they are closely harmonized, but both of the large number and the careful balance of the numbers of letters 21 and 30 in books 3 and 4 and 21 and 34 in 5 and 6 encourage the speculation that Pliny published them in two separate volumes, as in Book 2 there is a dominant letter in Book 3 portraying an extortion trial, that of Caecilius Cassicus 39 and rounded as assembled artistically the diverse themes of his uncle's writings, panegyrics of the deceased poets Mattia and Silius Italicus, obituaries and testimonials and notable events in the social life of the capital, including recitations, a dinner party, and the contemplation goes by the murder of a cool grandee by his slaves. Both for life was contest on an extortion trial, that of Julius Bassus for 9. The letters rounded again over a malign of public business in the Senate and the centumviral court and of Pliny private affairs. The latter defaults to literary matters now include references to his burgeoning role as specifier. Virtually all the letters of Book 3 and 4 can be dated to between 100 and 105, encouraging the speculation that the two books were published together in that later year. Is in these earlier books. In Book 5 and 6, Pliny groups shorter letters with placing variation of topics around a more extended topic. In Book 5, this is the description of his estate Differnum 5, 6, and in Book 6, the two letters requested by Tacitus on the eruption of Vesuvius 6, 16, and 20, the accumulation of a series of shorter letters towards the close book of Book 6 suggests that Pliny was seeking a balance between the length of the two books. The letters in both can be dated polynomially to the years 105 to 107 and were probably published in 107. The letters of books 7 until 9 may likewise have been subdivided into two volumes. Most of those in books 7 until 8 can be dated to 107 until 108, though a few may have been incorporated from earlier years. By contrast, Book 9 gives the impression that Pliny had filled it out with several epistles from earlier years. Moreover, the large number of letters in the books and brevity of many of them reinforce the impression of a shortage of more substantial correspondence. It is striking that there is a little discussion of political affairs in this book. We may conclude that these three books were published in two volumes, 7 until 8 in the first and 9 in the other, late in 108 or earlier in 109. The correspondence with Trajan, which occupies the whole of Book 10, comprises the earlier exchange of private letters 1 until 14 and those sent and received when Pliny was governor of Bithynia Pontus. Of the first small group, letter 1 until 11 date from 98 to 9, shortly after Trajan's accession. 12 is to be assigned to 101 until 2, 13 to 104, and 14 to either 102 or 106. These letters will have been gathered and published together with 15 until 121, not by Pliny himself nor in his lifetime, but by persons which to the imperial archives. It is visible that the work was carried out under the supervision of Suetonius, for as a close associate of Pliny he probably served on his staff in Bithynia. C. 1094. And more important, he became a prominent figure in the imperial bureaucracy in the later days of Hadrian. Indeed, he became the imperial secretary for correspondence with Hadrian, dismissed him for this post-history Augusta Hadrian 283, so that he had unrestricted access to the Roman archives. He could then have arranged for the publication of Book 10 in 120 or 130s. In the course of editing, the bold headings of the letters replaced the more courtly versions of the originals. Evidence from papyri and inscriptions also shows the letters to and from the imperial court included the date and place of origin. These two will have been struck out in the course of editing a note of writing materials at 161. Pliny went without hunting seals by nets, armed not with hunting spear or lance, but with pen and tablets. At 3, 5, 15, his uncle went traveling, has his secretary by him with a book and writing tablets. For the days of Catullus and Cicero, these were wax-coated wooden tablets, kinked together by straps and small enough to be held in the hand. They were seized with a stylus for preliminary drafting, which could later be dated to allow repeated use of the tablets by Pliny's day. There's evidence of the introduction of parchment tablets, Matthew 14 and Matthew 14:7 and 184, but it is not certain that Pliny used them. The versions of the letters finally signed were inscribed on papyrus with a split reed dip in ink bed from soot and gum, or from the juice of the cuttlefish. Such writing in ink could be erased by a sponge, and the paper is used.